when I faced these tyrannical leaders, if you will, there were no rights. I was stripped of all due process. I was even stripped of my defense in a court of law, an American court of law.
Fox News is scraping the bottom of the barrel and reaching for, well, anything to slow the momentum of the Harris-Walz campaign as it's gained a lot of traction since the ticket was first announced.
His policies destroy the American people's rights, the Minnesotans' rights, to be specific. He destroyed so many businesses in the state of Minnesota, never to open again. He destroyed so many lives in Minnesota, literally. The man is a criminal, and he should be impeached, and he should be prosecuted.
Wow. Well, that's it's really tough language. We hope to get him on, and we'll ask some questions about this.
To believe Tim Walz is to blame for destroying people's rights by simply following and enforcing COVID lockdown policies is representative of sheer entitlement, not a care for the well-being of others or how an individual's actions might impact their lives, their neighbors' lives. Now, in case you haven't heard about this yet, meet Lisa Hansen. She wants to impeach and prosecute the governor.
It is now law.
But you've legalized recreational marijuana, you passed universal background checks on guns, you expanded LGBTQ protections, you implemented tuition-free college for low-income Minnesotans. There's free breakfast and lunch for school kids. Do you think your record is an asset to the ticket, or would it risk fueling Trump's attacks as you being a big government liberal?
What a monster. Kids are eating and having full bellies so they can go learn. And women are making their own health care decisions. And we're a top 5 business state.
You know, you can tell a lot about people in their personal lives. He spent a decade stiffing service workers from dishwashers, waiters, and carpenters on his own properties to enrich himself. As president, he cut overtime benefits for millions of workers, and he opposed any effort to raise the minimum wage. That's all you need to know. You don't have to ask twice. We know who they are. It's not what they've done that we should be concerned with here today. It's what they're going to do. One of the clear goals of that Project 2025 to-do list is to put the screws to working people, making it harder for us to collectively bargain, allowing employers to drastically cut overtime or even eliminate it. And make no mistake about this, Donald Trump and J.D. Vance want to eliminate Ask Me and all public sector unions altogether. He sits there and tells his friends, you're rich as hell and we're going to cut your taxes. I believe him when he says that. But he also turns around and tells workers their wages are too high. I keep bringing this up. Who do you know who's asking to cut taxes on billionaires while stiffing working people? I don't know anybody. And I'll tell you what, I think there's a lot of people think that they're on his side or voting for him, that when you put it to them like that, they start thinking things differently.
I had students that I taught in the classroom, coached on the football field, trained in my guard unit, and they went off to Iraq to fight for this nation. They went off to Afghanistan to fight for this nation. Not once in my career did the question of sexual orientation ever come up. It's time to erase this this mistake for our security and for Americans, and I'll be with you every step of the way.
When I was teaching at Mankato West, a group of students asked if I'd be willing to help them start the school's first gay-straight alliance. They were concerned about anti-LGBTQ bullying, and they wanted to do something about it. My answer was absolutely. We've made Minnesota a more welcoming place by outlawing conversion therapy for LGBTQ youth and protecting trans Minnesotans. We're not spending our time and energy and political capital picking fights with beer companies and librarians. We're putting bullies in their place, sending the clear message that the LGBT community is very much a part of the fabric of our state.
Look, we don't know as of now how the official Harris-Walz campaign platform will shape up. But when it comes to destroying people's rights, Walz has only expanded the rights of other groups of people that deserve equality, such as the broader LGBTQ plus community, the trans community, service members, school children who don't have the security and privilege of having multiple meals in a day. You can be critical of Walz's initial COVID response policies and sue the state all you want. That's your right as an American. And it's also our right to call out and explain why your anger is directed at the wrong person. Hansen should be mad at Donald Trump for lying about the existence of the virus, lying about having it under control, taking far too long to set up the infrastructure to test and contain the spread, and of course, waiting far too long to administer the first set of lockdowns to businesses, schools, and other public areas. MAGA folks are masters at deflecting away any sort of valid criticism about Donald Trump, and instead resorting to the most convenient and often the most marginalized targets to pin the blame on. While Walz certainly isn't a member of a marginalized group, convicted felon Roger Stone is going to try to use Walz's allyship with the LGBTQ plus community against him.
She was selected as the nominee for president. Even not a single Democrat in the country voted for her in any primary or any caucus. And now she's picked this guy, Tim Walz. Saw him at a rally. I mean, I hate to quote Mel Brooks in Blazing Saddles, but he was jumping around like a Kansas City. This guy is really, really weird. So there's a lot to digest there.
The Republican Party is fueled by a paradoxical victim complex. On the one hand, they posture as the victims of some non-existent oppression, when in reality, they can get away with saying slurs and really any other unhinged thought that comes to mind, which only proves that they hold a unique position of power in our country. Still, we'll just keep reminding them, you're not a victim. You're actually the problem.